guys, I'm Allison. I'm the Pampered Wife. You can probably tell I'm not feeling my best. Not gonna lie, even my hair is like straight and lackluster for me, and I just showered, which is when it's most rambunctious. So you know I'm a little under the weather, but I want to do my Wednesdays what I wore this week. And I'm ready to move on to some different makeup because that's about how long my attention span is like a week, and then I want to try something new or at least something different from what I've been using. First things first, I do have on sunscreen. Today I have on the Kinship Self-Reflect something. I'll put it on the screen. It is sort of a reflective skin blurring, kind of. You can see the beautiful reflection of it finish. And I got a hair here. Most of the week I was wearing the maybe it's called Slip Tint. I can't remember the exact name. I'll put that on the screen. I love that one. That one feels more silicone-y. I don't know that it actually has any kind of silicone in it. I don't know that it doesn't, but I love that one. And that one has a very similar finish, which is why I wore it, although a different texture. This one feels still a little bit tacky on my skin. So like all foundations and products that you're going to put on your face, what you wear underneath is always going to affect the finish. And that's why I started by telling you what is already on my face. I do have some dry patches, especially around my nose. I have some on my chin too, but I'm going to put some lip stuff on, lip moisturizer. And this week I was using the Ilia, their lip mask, the overnight lip mask. Everything I use will be linked down below too. And this is really not so much about skincare, but this is what I've been using. I think this has a lavender scent. I can't really tell because of my nose, but I feel like it has some kind of scent. This is a really nice one. I wouldn't say it's an overnight lip mask like they call it, but it is thicker and more moisturizing than a lot of balms. And I definitely do like it. For foundation this week, I've been wearing the Merit Beauty, let's see what it's called. The Minimalist, the Complexion Perfecting Stick. Now I actually got a couple of samples of it, and so they're these little bubbles, and I've been using one as my concealer and one as my foundation. Since I was traveling, these were just perfect. I'll tell you the shade names and everything, but I just popped them out of here and took them with me in a plastic bag, and I didn't even use up one whole bubble in an entire week, and I did wear makeup every day. So it looks like I'm using the shade Cream and the shade Bisque, and so this is what they look like when I punched them out. And for some reason I didn't use the two that are attached, but anyway, I'm gonna go in with the shade Bisque as my foundation, and I just peeled it back. And here it is. I've been digging it out with my fingernail and then just kind of putting it on my face. I didn't bring any brushes with me all week, so this is a super easy makeup look to do with just your hands, fingers. I love the idea of this because it comes in a stick, and I could just, if I do get it, which I think I probably will, especially for travel, just draw it on my face, spread it out with my fingers, and move on. That's my favorite thing to do. So I'm literally just scooping in with my thumb, and I'm gonna go in and just swipe that onto my face, kind of draw a line on each cheek, and then whatever's just left on my thumb, I'm just gonna kind of draw elsewhere. Now, all the videos and swatches and things that I had seen of this Merit Beauty foundation stick, it looked really chalky to me and seemed quite dry, so I was not interested in it. So I'm really glad I got this sample because it's more emollient than I anticipated. Of course, having something, my skin properly prepped underneath definitely makes a difference. It really spreads out nicely, has a nice amount of coverage, and is just so easy. I don't get any streaking or anything with my fingers here. So that was that. I'm gonna put more around my nose because I am quite red. You can see it really did even out the skin tone and do a bit of covering. I would say it's a medium coverage, which is exactly what I would want for every day. It's not dewy, but it's not matte. Maybe it's a satin finish. Is that what we would call it? So I'm gonna put a little bit more on, like I said, around my nose. And this time I'm just using my fingertip. I'm not, scooping it out with my nail. This is what's left after a week. Like, I haven't even used a whole little bubble. So I think this would last a while. I do know that price comparisons have showed that this is actually pretty expensive. Like, I think it was a comparison to the Westman Atelier, and it looked like you got more of the Westman Atelier than this or something. But it ended up that, like, ounce for ounce, this might even be more expensive than the Westman Atelier. I'll put on the screen yes or no if I'm right about that. It is a clean brand at Sephora, no scent. It looks like it has quite a few shades, judging from this sample card, and I find it interesting and sort of refreshing. They start with the darkest shade and end with the lightest shade, so it's backwards from what they had most advertisers and marketing campaigns had been doing, but let's count the number of shades. 20 shades, which is decent. I do definitely have some breakouts going on too. When you don't feel well, your skin acts up, your hair acts up, everything is just not right. So I'm going in now with the shade Cream, and that's going to be my concealer. And this I'm just using the pad of my ring finger to dip in. And I'm gonna put that, where I'm dark. I got these dark circles. When you have a cold, you don't sleep well, you're up all night, blowing your nose and coughing, and that is what I've been doing. I did get tested for COVID because I was visiting my parents. We were out and about, and I knew I was going to be getting on an airplane and heading back home. So I want to make sure I'm putting this on some blemishes. I'm also going to put it a little above my chin because I don't like being dark right there. So I've just put it on half my face so you can see the difference of the coverage. It really just brightened that side of my face. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It didn't totally hide everything. Whoop, it helps if you rub it in. But it definitely did some concealing, which is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for blurring and brightening, and that's exactly what I got. I really like the finish. I really like that I don't need to powder it at all. I didn't find that it really creased or bunched more than any other foundation or product would. I did find that it clung to some dry patches. That's to be expected in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. So that's it for foundation. I was very pleased with this. It wore nicely. Nice skin-like finish, not too dewy, not too matte. Didn't need to powder to set it down, which I really appreciate because I have dry skin and powder tends to dry me out. The less I can travel with, the better. Even when I go abroad, only take a carry-on. So I'm putting these back in my plastic baggie. Even though I brought both bubbles, so I would have extras, I didn't need them. It's quite fascinating to me. I thought I would go through these in 2 uses, but I didn't. Of course I brought, sorry, I'm just moving right along. Of course I brought my Westman Atelier contour stick in the shade Biscuit because I'm quite overweight and my face really could use all the help it can get right now. I did start my morning with some greens in like a drink. I'm not gonna promise about dieting, but I'd like to think I would. Now it's only like 5 pounds, but I'm only 5'1", so on me that is the big difference. So I put the contour wherever I'd have a shadow on my face. I don't really contour my nose, but I did put it at the tip. I don't know why. It's a new thing I'm doing. And then just for ease of time and everything, I'm not blending it out yet. I'm doing what you're seeing all over TikTok and wherever, which I'm not even on TikTok, but I hear people say they saw it on TikTok. I've sort of always been lazy enough to do this, but apparently it's a thing now, so I'm gonna show you what I do. Then I'm going in with the Say Sun Melt in light bronze. I recently purchased a bunch of Say products. I've sort of fallen in love with them, and this is their lightest shade. I don't usually go for the lightest shade of a bronzer, but it is winter time and I'm a light medium skin tone. So this is a cream product, and again, I'm just gonna dab it on the cheekbones, my forehead, the side of my face, and then a little down my neck. I am going in with the Tower 28 Beach Please in the shade Magic Hour. This is a multi-use product, and I love this. I'll swatch this, and actually I'll swatch the bronzer too. So I love this shade. It's a brownish pink, just kind of a neutral. I'll swatch that right next to Magic Hour. That means there definitely is a difference there. So I'm just gonna put this now more closer to the apples of my cheek, a little across my forehead and the bottom of my chin. And now I'm just gonna pat / rub everything in, starting at the cheek. And then I'm pulling everything up so that nothing falls down. I'm lifting everything up my face to try to make everything look lifted. Back toward the hairline so it's all blended in. And then can't forget I put a little contour under my chin to try to separate my chin from my neck. And then I did put some bronzer down my neck, so I'm just blending that in. That's it for complexion. Then I brought my brows. I brought my PYT Brow Goals pencil. I've been very happy with this. This is the shade Chocolate. It's a really inexpensive option. It has like an oval sort of tip, if you can see that. And here's the shade on the back of my hand. Now, typically you want to go a little lighter and warmer for your brows than your natural hair color. So I think this is a really nice option for my hair color, and I'm not precious about it or too careful, and I really like that about it. This is not too waxy and not too chalky. This is sort of that Goldilocks in between texture that I've been really happy with. The Eco Brow is a bit, or quite a bit more powdery, whereas the Plume is a lot waxier. So this is a really nice in the middle. Of course, it does come with a spoolie on the other end, which if you're gonna use a brow product, you gotta use a spoolie. I say that every time, and I genuinely mean it, because you gotta create those brush strokes and blend it all in. I do think this product is worth checking out if you're in the market for a brow product. It's inexpensive. It's available at Target as well as Credo and other places. I think PYT is an underrated brand, and I really love it. Time for a water break. And then I did bring my Kosas Air Brow Gel in clear. I feel like this formula is a little bit different from the colored formula that I had, and I like it better. It's still not my favorite. It's good. It's just, I think there's so much hype over it, and it's just not phenomenal. I did notice the wand isn't round. I don't know if you can see this. It's actually like squared off on the sides. So there's a point to it. Like on the sides, if you hold it just right, you can kind of get a point. I don't know if that made any sense. You know, like a triangle. Here, maybe if you look at it this way. Yeah, there you see it. Anyway, so that's interesting. I'm sure if you're a brow whiz and really into this, you can figure out how to use the different sides differently and the angles to do certain things. All right, then for eyes. Oh, I just did such an easy job of it. I brought my, why can't I find what they're called? Nudestix. It's black on black, and I just could not see it. Anyway, these are pencils. When I travel, I want ease. I just grabbed 2 out of my drawer. They're not sold as clean at Sephora or anything like that, but I looked through the ingredients and was comfortable with them. I probably missed something. I don't know. If you're familiar with the ingredients or feel like checking it out, let me know. What did I miss that these aren't clean? Because they seemed fine to me. Anyway, they come with a big old sharpener on one end and a top on the other. I've never used the sharpener. I should, I could, but I'm not going to. And this is what I did. I went whoop, whoop. And then I took the deeper shade and I went up into the crease some and into the corner, sort of drew a V on my wrinkly lids. I did not use a primer or anything underneath, although I did put sunscreen on. And then I patted and sort of pulled a little to do some blending, especially out here in the corner. Now, I didn't use a magnifying glass, and I need readers, so I probably should have used a magnifying glass. But I kind of figure no one's looking that closely, and if they are, well, they shouldn't be. This is what I did, and that's that. This is the whole eyeshadow look. Really. Yeah, I mean, as far as I can tell, that's fine. So I'm going back in and doing the other eye. These were beautifully, and what I found was the more I sheared them out, the sheerer they got, and the more I let them be, the more opaque or more colored they were. I can't think of the word, pigment they had. But if I wanted less pigment, I could, blend them out some more, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So they were perfect for me. Some days I would just really blend them till there was hardly anything there, and then some days I left them like this, well, especially at night. And if I wanted to, I could sharpen the deeper one and use it as an eyeliner as well, or even not sharpen it and just leave a thicker line. Is that about even? So that was it for the eyes. Again, super easy. Anyway, here we go in with mascara. I brought the RMS Beauty something. It's in black. It's their new mascara. I'm loving this. It does have a pine cone shaped wand. Pretty traditional sort of bristles, but they're sort of in a spiral along the wand. And I just wiggle through my lashes and pull out. I did just get a clump there. I find this to be lengthening and volumizing and wear really well. It will sort of fade away as the day goes on, but what's interesting is it's not a dramatic fade away. Like, it's not terrible. It's definitely still on at the end of the day. And I don't end up with little black flecks and things under my eyes. So I don't mind it at all. And I love it. I think it looks beautiful. I would say this one is definitely worth checking out. If you like volumizing, I would definitely look into this one. It's up there with my favorites. I'll have to try the Bite Beauty one again, but the Upswing mascara, that was a favorite from last year. I think this beats that out, and the reason why is it wears better. Still, I love these little sample sizes. If you're like me and you travel a lot, or you like to try different products, or you just don't use a lot of product at a time, get all these little samples. I mean, they're wonderful. So this is a sample of a Rituel de Fille. Trying to see what it is. It's actually a, I think it's supposed to be like a cheek product. This is the shade Glasswing, and it looks really deep. I'll open it and show you. It smells like lavender. It looks really deep. I'll go ahead and swatch it for you. It's a beautiful berry, as you can see, and I'm gonna tap that onto my lips and then onto my cheeks. Already had my, lip balm on, so that was real easy to spread out on my lips. And then I'll do the slightest little tap there, just to add a little bit of flush. All right, my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. So I'm gonna have to see what's going on in my world, and I'll be right back. Okay, it turns out everything's fine with the family. I don't know why they were calling me so many times. I guess they just love me. For a highlighter, I brought my favorite highlighter situation, the RMS Beauty Mini Luminizer X Quad, and it comes with 4 luminizers or highlighters. I love them. They are all cream based, and I've gone over them before, but the ones I use all of them, as you can tell by the indentations, but the one I typically use on my cheek on a casual everyday is this one. And I will show you, it just melts into the skin. It looks like nothing except just a highlight. Like, it has no glitter particles. Here it is right here. Yeah, there you can see it. Just illuminates beautifully. And I don't have a deep skin tone, but this sort of champagne-y color, Champagne Fizz, I believe it's called, is just beautiful. So I'll show you, even on a sick day, I will put this, just a couple little dots right there, and it just brightens and lightens and enlivens my face. And you know what? The center of my lip. This is what happens. So I'm gonna take my hair down and give you my final thoughts. I love these what I wore this week Wednesdays, because then I can just go over products that are already in my collection, treat them like they're new. It's so fun for me to shop my stash, wear things that I haven't worn in a while, like these Nudestix eye pencil things. I still love them. They're sort of a creamy product that are easy to spread out on my eyelid. They wear beautifully. They don't crease, surprisingly. The Merit, same thing. I've been really pleased with that. Like I said, I thought it was gonna be chalky, but it actually spread out nicely. I love the finish of it. I don't have to powder it. It wears well. It doesn't really settle. The Kosas Air Brow Gel, that's just not a favorite of mine. And that's it. I mean, I would recommend every single product I used this week, which is kind of incredible. But it's also not surprising because I was traveling and I didn't want to bring anything I didn't like or wouldn't be happy with. So that's everything. I hope you guys are doing well. Steer clear of all the ickies that are out there, like my nasty cold. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the products maybe that I didn't address. I hope you guys are doing well, like I already said. And in the meantime, I hope you find some time to pamper yourself today. Bye.